Welcome to episode 29 of the Brooklyn Knitfolk podcast. My name is Jacqueline. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as @JacquelineSalem. You can also find the show notes for this podcast and all other podcasts at the Brooklyn Knitfolk Ravelry group. And if you would like to get in touch with me, the best way to do so is through brooklynknitfolk@gmail.com or on Instagram, which I am on all the time because I'm addicted. So happy to see you guys again. I hope you guys have had a really great couple of weeks. I know I have. I've been loving life in my new apartment. It's been amazing. Thank you so much for all the congratulations and well wishes. It has been wonderful so far. So this week I wanted to give an extra special welcome to those who introduced themselves in the Ravelry group. And those people are Dr. Farwell, Raina01, Sylvia 1002, Aim Marie, Scandy54 Knits, Becky 529, SM Wilcox 2, Bilingual Ann, It's Me Riley, Shoe Swap Knitter Sue, Marley Megs, Tasha's Adventures, Seabon, Megalosaurus, Mrs. A Roth 78, LADJNI. I don't know how to pronounce that, so I'm just going to spell it out and hello. Stupple Tagle, Wool Needles Hands, Holly Berries, Jess Cat, and Cariola. Hello, and thank you so much for introducing yourselves. I love to read a little bit more about you guys and where you're from and what you like to knit and all that good stuff. I love hearing about you, and I love getting to know you guys better. This is what this is all about, right? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode. Welcome to all returning viewers and to new people. Hello, and I hope you enjoyed the show. So let's jump right in with really quick announcement. Whoever won the Snow Day shawl, I sent you a message, or I ear burned you in the Ravelry group. I can't remember who it was off the top of my head. I literally just did it, but I've also messaged Mina. So if you have won, then you know, and Mina now knows, so you should be getting the pattern soon. And stay tuned for the end of this episode because there is another giveaway. Mina's sock collection, the New York Sock Club, is coming out, and she has given a copy to Brooklyn Knitfolk for me to give away to you guys. So stay tuned to the end of the episode, and I will tell you how you can win that. So now, without further ado, we can get right into the episode with finished objects, and I have one knitted finished object. And that finished object is a pair of socks. So these are just a simple plain vanilla sock. This one I haven't woven in the ends yet. We'll do that. And the yarn is gorgeous. I showed you guys last time. It is Knox Yarn Co. in the Cheering Charm colorway. So it's a Harry Potter related yarn. So I'm really excited because I can enter this in Box of Socks. I can enter this into the inside number 23 cal, and those are just two off the top of my head, but I know there are tons of really great, I think there's a magic cal going on. Somebody commented on the last episode and said that she's also hosting a Harry Potter cal, so I'm going to be sure to enter this into all of the cals, and I'll post that stuff in the show notes for you guys too, so in case you want to go find them and enter to win more prizes. But yeah, I'm so pleased with how they turned out. I have quite a bit of yarn left over. I weighed the cake, and there's 44 grams. So these are very generous skeins that you get from Knox Yarn Co. This isn't a short cuff. I knit my cuffs pretty long, so unless these are actually that's really funny, it reminds me. So I tried these on. One of these I knit, this one, before I moved. The other one I knit after I moved. I don't know if you can really tell on the screen. You probably can't. I can tell just by holding it and feeling how this slides. The one I knit after I moved, so much looser, like my normal gauge. The one I knit before I moved, so tight. I used to knit my socks concurrently, which means you knit them at the same time. So I would use two 9-inch circulars, knit the cuff on one, the cuff on the other, a little bit of the leg, etc., back and forth until I had two finished socks. But really that was just to kind of combat against a potential second sock syndrome. Now that I've been knitting socks for a little while, I know myself, it's just second sock syndrome is not going to happen, and if it is, it wouldn't happen. Unless I really don't like the yarn for some reason and I get a little bit into the first one and I know I don't like it, then I'll just frog it and get rid of the yarn, destash the yarn. So since I know second sock syndrome isn't really going to affect me, I just knit one and then knit the other one right after it. But that doesn't help with gauge because unfortunately this one again is looser than this one is, so they are a little bit different in terms of gauge. This one is far more comfortable, the looser one, which is more to my usual style, so not, you know, unwearable by any means, but just kind of crazy how much your mood can really affect your knitting style. So really stressful time in my life, really not so stressful time in my life. So that was just something that was funny. And of course I could avoid this if I wanted to learn 2 at a time socks, but I really just love my 9-inch circulars, so I see no reason to stop doing what I like. Again, here is the yarn. Absolutely gorgeous pastels and little hits of neon here and there. I'll show you on the sock instead. So pretty, and it's got some speckling in it. Absolutely gorgeous. And it's a Fish Lips Kiss heel, which is the heel that I normally do. Although I've been wanting to try out, I've already done it one time, but Mina's German short row heel, she has amended the pattern slightly to add for a little bit deeper of a heel in it. So I really would like to try hers again because I love short row heels, and hers is a short row heel as well, the German short row heel. So I'll give that another try. But this one is the Fish Lips Kiss heel and a rounded toe, my usual standard. So I'm in love with how these turned out. Can't wait to cast on another pair of socks, which I have already done, which you'll see in just a moment. So that's my only knitted finished object for this week, but
why is talking to a camera with another person so much weirder than doing it alone?
It's really awkward and weird, but we have a finished object to show you, and it's safe to show it because by the time this goes up, Mina will have already seen it, but Julie and I made Mina a baby shower. Oh, by the way, this is Julie. If you want to introduce yourself, go ahead.
Hey! Please cut that out.
Not a chance.
Hi, my name is Julie, and I am the dyer behind Sweet Sparrow Yarns, and I host the Sweet Sparrow Knits podcast.
Her yarn is amazing, by the way. If you haven't checked it out, you really should. But yeah, so we knit an finished object for Mina, and we made this bird mobile. And Jafar is probably going to try to attack it here in a second, the longer I hold it up in front of him. But we made Birds of Happiness using, whose pattern is it? Do you know? Because I don't remember.
Not off the top of my head.
I don't know, but you guys have seen these everywhere, I'm sure. The Birds of Happiness pattern. And look at these little guys. Do you happen to know the yarns for yours? I don't think I do for mine.
I don't.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I do know this one. This is Orange Jellyfish Dream. I don't know the colorway. I got a pack of like 5 mini skeins from her, and
I know that
really
this one is Cat's Kettle yarns for sure, but I don't know where these other ones came from. They're just from our mini stash, and we know that Mina loves purple. If you don't know that about her already, she's like the purple and green queen. But also because her, I texted her and asked her what color her baby room is going to be, and she said it's their guest room / baby room, and it's a purple and white color scheme or something like that. So we just went with purple Birds of Happiness and made this monochromatic mobile attached to an embroidery hoop using yarn to hold it up.
that's what we did. Oh my
I'm
god.
really excited about how it turned out. I think it looks so cute.
I kind of want one for my room.
I know, I do too. Yeah, so we're just saying that we really want one for ourselves, but I'm kind of annoyed with knitting Birds of Happiness at this point, so it's going to be a while before I do that, but yeah.
I feel ready to knit a lot more of these.
The little ones are so cute. I love this little seal-like one.
So yeah, that guy, I wasn't paying a ton of attention, and I kind of knit the beak on the side of his face.
Oh, it's fine.
So I just like got a little extra stuffing in there. He's fine. He's got character, right?
Yeah, exactly. And this one ended up with a collar because I didn't pick up the stitches right. But you know what? It doesn't matter.
They're filled with love.
It's just knitting. Yep. So that's one of our finished objects for this week. And we can't wait for Mina to see it. We should wrap it. I don't know how we're going to do that. Okay.
It's fine.
Here you go.
Happy baby having.
Yay! And back to the podcast.
Bye.
Bye. Now we'll get into works in progress. And as you know, when you cast off one pair of socks, thou shalt cast on another pair. Living in my Sweet Sparrow Knits project bag is another Harry Potter themed yarn, and this one is also an acquisition. So my mom for Christmas ordered a skein of nomadic yarns for me. Unfortunately, it did not come in time for Christmas because she was just so busy with orders because she's such a talented dyer, but I am in love with this skein. I will preface this by saying not a single one of these colors in here is my colors. I would never knit with these colors off the shelf. But because it's a fandom yarn, here's her tag, Nomadic Yarns, and it's in her trusty sock base, 462 yards, 100 grams, 75-25 superwash merino and nylon. The colorway is called Fred and George, and this is a Harry Potter themed yarn. Isn't this amazing? If you're a Harry Potter fan and know anything about Fred and George, you know that these colors are insanely perfect for them. So obviously they have red hair. I think they each have, one has a blue sweater and one has a green sweater, and then the speckling bit, for some reason every time I get to it, it just reminds me of like Bertie Bott's Every Flavor Beans, or maybe even like Weasley's Wizard Wheezes, which is their joke shop that they open. Here's the cake. Yeah, it is so fun to knit with this. This yarn feels really sturdy. I have another colorway of hers, the Lupin colorway. I have not cast that one on yet. I probably will sometime this year since it's the Harry Potter knit along for Inside number 23 that I would love to participate in. But it's a very sturdy sock yarn. It feels like it's gonna make for a super durable sock. So I am absolutely loving this. Self-striping yarn makes socks fly by. So if you've never tried it before, definitely give it a go because you will never stop knitting on this sock. This is two days of commute knitting. And I don't know what it is, every time I go to a yarny friend's house, like yesterday we all went to, not we all, just a couple of us went to Mina Phillips' house of the Knitting Expat podcast to kind of just like knit and give her some baby shower presents. Every single time I get together with knitter friends, I always am at the heel. Why does that always happen? So I felt like I was just knitting a heel the entire time. Again, this is the Fish Lips Kiss heel pattern. And yeah, I'm just loving this yarn. Again, not colors I would ever pick out for myself on their own, but in the context of this fandom yarn, I can't get enough. I absolutely love it. I'm so excited. Knitting those on size US 1 Haya Sharp 9-inch circulars with a 56 stitch cast on, which is my usual sock cast on. 2x2 rib, 20 rounds of ribbing. So that's my current sock whip. The next work in progress I'll show you, what should I show you next? Let's go with the scrap yarn blanket. It grew a little bit, not a ton, but again, I just kind of work on this as I want to. I think probably 3 additional rows were added to it. So yeah, it's growing. I love it. Again, on my granny stripe blanket, I don't like the stripe to go all the way across. I prefer the scrappier look to it, so I sort of tend to stop them at random. And it's mostly kind of like neons, neutrals, not neons, mostly neutrals, and blush colors with pops of dark colors and pops of neons. Very into pink lately for some reason. So yeah, loving that. I probably won't show this to you guys every single time because the progress on it is slow but steady, but I'll just show you, every so often so that you're not seeing the same blanket. I'll show you my hook again though while it's already out. Maybe. Here we go. This is a Clover Amour hook. It's wonderful, very malleable and squishy in the hand, and the size is an F hook, 3.75 millimeter. It's a great hook. I definitely recommend it. This is my bag o' minis that I'm working from, so I still have quite a bit left to work through, but man, does crochet eat yarn. So crazy, so crazy. The next project, knitting, that finally came out of hibernation, yay, and this is living in my Cat's Kettle Zelda bag. Amazing, love it. Is my Hetty shawl. So I feel like I put quite a dent into it, but just there's so much cabling in this, it really does take forever to knit. So the past 2 weeks, I added this much from this Progress Keeper right here. I'm almost finished with this cake. I have one more 50-gram skein of Hayloft in the Brooklyn Tweed in the Hayloft colorway left to go, and then I will be done with this edging. So I have this and one more skein, and I will be done with the edging. I cannot wait. So again, this is the Hetty shawl, a pattern by Isolde Teague. I would have been done with this edging a lot longer ago if I had made it the size that it called for. The size it's a pretty small shawl, honestly, and I prefer bigger shawls. That's really all I'll wear. I won't wear shawlettes or smaller shawls, so I added 10 extra repeats of the edging to make it bigger. And so this is the center right here, I think. Wait, no, right there. Center is right there where the diamond is. And then this is one side, still gotta do this side. So still a ways to go, but I do feel motivated with it now. I work on it a little bit every day and then I switch over to something else. If I am being honest, I'm not really enjoying the knit anymore as a process knit. For me, this is definitely becoming a product knit. Most of the time I am a process knitter, I feel, and that's where you just knit because you enjoy knitting something, not because you really care about having the finished object. But for this, because it's just a monotonous, the same 8 rows over and over and over for each of these. It's the same 8-row repeat over and over. I'm just kind of ready to be done with this edging and just get on to the body of the shawl so that I can have it done. I had a little, I wouldn't say not a competition, but an agreement, if you will, with Lisa of Saratoga Knitting. She had a colorwork sweater that she was working on, and I had this shawl that I was working on, and she was having trouble finishing hers. She did finish hers already before Rhinebeck even, so I'm like a slacker, but we both agreed that we would finish these projects that we were having trouble with before the Washington County Farm and Fiber Tour that's hosted by Sarah of the Yarns at Yin Hu podcast. And that is coming up soon in April. I've already reserved my spot. I cannot wait to go again this year. It's going to be wonderful, but I have to finish this before that Farm and Fiber Tour again, which this year has been renamed to the Knit Local Getaway. And so I have to finish this project before then. So it's a nice little deadline to keep me on task, keep me motivated. I am going to finish this project before then. At the time when we had this little agreement, I was like, I'll have it done way before then, but yeah, it's already mid-February and it's still creeping along, and I've been working on this since I cast it on at the Farm and Fiber Tour last year, and that was in April. So this is almost a year-long work in progress. Is that right? Wow, that is a really long time for me to have something on the needles. So this will be a year-long work in progress. I don't know what's holding me up. Actually, yes I do. We've already discussed it. It's just crazy cables. But I will be very excited to finally have this done and to show it off at the Knit Local Getaway, especially because Sarah herself, who is organizing the getaway again, she has knit one of these, and so I'd really love to, she was who inspired me to knit it in the first place. So I really, really, really am going to finish this before that getaway. Mark my words, you heard it here. All right, is that it for knitting projects? I believe it is. Looking around. I think so. Let's move into sewing. So now we're going to be in the Spoolish Games segment of the podcast, and that's where I talk about sewing projects that I'm working on, garments, quilts, etc. And you will have seen on Instagram, if you follow me on Instagram, I finished a bra. Yay! Oh, I'm so thrilled and honestly really quite proud of myself actually with how this turned out. I think for a first bra project, I could not have hoped for more. Are there flaws? Yes. Do I see ways that I can make it better? Absolutely. But the great thing about making lingerie or making bras, especially if you plan on making the same pattern again, is that the first time you kind of learn all of the the trouble spots, if you will, or the tricky things about the pattern, the way it's written, the instructions, that the second time, I feel confident that any second bra you make from a first one will be a million times better than the first one, and this one's already, I feel, pretty decent. So this is the Boylston bra, a pattern by Orange Lingerie. I guess I don't have a picture of the pattern itself because it was a PDF pattern, but you get the idea because you can see it. But this is the Boylston bra, a PDF pattern by Orange Lingerie, and I made it using a kit from the Tailor Made shop. And it came with all of the tools and notions, it came with the lace, the elastics, it came with the, what is this called? I'm blanking on what's power net, power mesh, power net, something like that. Strap elastic, the hooks, etc. So it comes with everything you need to make the bra and the underwires, which I purchased separately actually. But I still got the underwires from the Tailor Made shop. I made the size 36B, and I feel like it fits really, really well. There are a few adjustments I think I'll make to the next one. I keep it on the loosest hook when I wear it, and it's still just a teensy bit tight, just a little bit. And the next time I make one, I will definitely go through the process of adding foam cups to it. It's not unwearable outside or anything like that, but it's just not as, I don't want to say supportive, and even the bras I buy and ready to wear, I don't buy them with super padding or anything like that. I prefer very minimal padding, but I still just feel a little bit more comfortable with just a light foam cup in the bra, so I will definitely do that next time. The only thing that I'm really critical about in this first run is that I'm so mad that I didn't change out this thread for a lilac color instead of the black when sewing on top of this elastic. When putting it together, I wasn't really sure what was going to face which way. That was really difficult when putting the pattern together. I will say bras have quite a bit of pieces. It's not a hard sewing project. I wouldn't say I recommend it for your very first ever sewing project, but it really is not as hard as I feel like people have made it out to be. Like I said, the second bra that you ever make after your first one is going to be eons better. Just be prepared that your first one may not be perfect, but that you'll learn so much by doing this first one. But like I said, I wasn't really sure what side this was going to end up on when I was putting it together, so I didn't change out the thread color because I just didn't know. I was kind of confused. The directions, I will say, were assuming a lot more. They were assuming a lot of knowledge. It's a good thing, I guess, that I had been sewing for at least a little bit amount of time, because I wouldn't have known what the instructions were telling me to do. That, or not to do always. Like, it wasn't that bad. That, and then right side, wrong side with black lace in general. I don't know about you guys, is there a right and wrong side to lace? I mean, there's definitely a right and wrong way to sew the pieces together, because you could end up with like two left cups or something. So you really have to pay attention to what's the right side and the wrong side of your fabric, which can be tricky when the fabric itself is not telling you that, because when you look at it, it doesn't look like there's a right side and a wrong side. So that was trickier. And then the other thing too is you'll get very comfortable with sewing very small seam allowances. I'm going to see if I can show you on somewhere that's not this old strap elastic. But let's see, the underwire channeling, for example. It's black, so I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see that. But you see I'm right up along that edge right there. You have teensy seam allowances in some places. In most of the bra, you're looking at 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 inch seam allowances. But when you're making garments, that's usually 5/8 inches of seam allowance. So this is quite a bit smaller real estate to be working with. And because this is something that kind of like goes around your body and it's not like your hips, well, how do I best explain this? The seam allowances are small, and the room of margin for error is also a lot smaller, because you're working on a smaller piece, you're working on a smaller garment altogether, unlike like a skirt, like that has a lot of volume to it. You don't want to have a lot of excess fabric in your seam allowances. So there's not a lot of room to make mistakes. So especially with the lace, when you're cutting out lace and you make a mistake, unpicking it can unpick the lace. I'm sounding crazy right now. I can hear myself kind of talking in circles. Just know, overall, not as difficult as I thought it was going to be, but you definitely have to pay close attention to the pattern, the right and wrong sides of the fabric, and be willing to go the extra mile for small details, because in the end, it will really matter and make a huge difference on your project. I went into this knowing it wasn't going to be perfect, but I wanted to attempt to make it at the very best of my ability. So if something wasn't absolutely perfect, I know it wasn't going to be like, you know, astonishingly perfect, but if it wasn't up to scratch with what I knew I was able to do, I redid it, because I wanted to make it the best I possibly could with my current skill set, so that I could really compare later on with another one on how good or bad they are. So, Boylston bra, patterned by Orange Lingerie, kit from Tailor Made Shop. I'll definitely be making another one of these soon. I want to make one more from a kit first, and then I have this amazing Rifle Paper Company fabric that Amber from Maker's Haven gave me. And this is a woven fabric, but the Boylston bra is constructed in such a way that not all of it has to be knits fabrics. Knits fabrics are stretchy fabrics, so only the band really would have to be a stretchy fabric. The bottom cup right here, it's a two-part bottom cup, two-piece bottom cup, so there's a side here and a side here. Those can be made out of woven fabrics. So I really want to make a Boylston bra out of this fabric right here, and I'll definitely have enough for the cups with this, I think. So before I cut into this really gorgeous coveted fabric, I think I want to make one more with a kit, and then I will cut into. After I make another couple Boylston bras, there's a pattern by Cloth Habit, I believe. They just released a bra pattern called the Harriet bra, and I love the pattern so much. I really love the balconette style bras. Those are my favorites, the ones that kind of fit me the best. And this one is kind of like a balconette style, which is where it's kind of cut more horizontally across the breast. So I'm really excited about it. Can't wait to make another. Great experience. If you love detail-oriented work, definitely give this a shot. Not as hard as you think. The next project is another lingerie project. I've really been getting into lingerie sewing because I love detail-oriented work and small kind of projects like that. And I found through, who was it? Maker Style, I'm pretty sure. So the Tailor Made Shop, which is the place I bought that kit from for that Boylston bra, she did an Instagram takeover on the Maker Style Instagram account. Maker Style is not dedicated to lingerie, but I believe January was the month for bra. It was like bra making month or lingerie sewing month or something like that. So all of her posts, and she also has an accompanying podcast called Maker Style. All of her posts and podcast episodes were about lingerie making. So one of the people she interviewed was the owner of Evie La Louve, which is, I forget, it's based in the UK. I'm pretty sure it's in the UK. And she has tons of patterns, really great underwear patterns specifically. And there's this one called the Chloe Thong. Here's a picture of it, black and white, that I wanted to try out, and so I did. I will preface this by saying I have not tried this on yet, so I have no clue if it's going to fit, but I felt weird about trying on underwear that I'm showing you on the podcast, so I have not tried this on, no clue about the fit. The Boylston bra does fit really well, actually, by the way, so forgot to mention that. So this is kind of where I am with it. Every step is done except for adding elastic. I still need to add elastic to cinch in the waist and to the legs so that it fits properly. So right now it looks a lot bigger than it will end up being in the end. And you may recognize this fabric if you've been watching for a while. I made oh my gosh, why am I blanking on the name right now? Tilly and the Buttons, Agnes top. I made the Agnes top by Tilly and the Buttons, and I had plenty of leftovers, although really you just need mere scraps to make underwear. This was the quickest sewing project I've ever done. I was finished with this part in under 30 minutes, and all I had left to do is just cut the elastic, and that includes cutting out time. This is so fast. So really, an afternoon, a full day even, you could have a whole new custom fit, beautiful underwear drawer in a day if you wanted to. And that just like blows my mind. Yeah, really excited. So again, this is the Chloe Thong by Evie Lalouve. This is just some jersey knit fabric that I picked up at a shop in New York. And yeah, guess that's really all I need to say about it. There's the back side, really fast. There are funny story. There are 3 pieces to this pattern. There is the front, the back, and then the crotch. I don't have a printer in my apartment, so I went to the library down the street to go print off my pattern pieces. Kind of weird, I know. I was just like kind of on the slide, didn't want to be like make a big production of it. The printer must have run out of paper because I grabbed all of the pieces that were there. It was definitely done printing, but it ran out of paper on the very last sheet, which was the pattern piece for the crotch. So whenever somebody loaded new paper in there, they definitely, I hope they got a laugh out of this one sheet of paper that all it says is Chloe Thong crotch on it. I just like laughed so hard to myself thinking of that. I was annoyed that I didn't have my pattern piece because the library was closed by the time I realized. But yeah, that was good for a laugh though, that somebody got a pattern piece for a thong pattern and all it said was crotch piece on it. So that's it for lingerie making. The next project I'm working on, sewing wise, is a skirt. I'll show you the pattern first. I would be done with this already if I had a zip, but I thought I purchased zippers for all the projects I had lined up in my queue, but apparently I haven't for this one. I'm making this pattern right here. This is McCall's M6706. And I'm making view B. No, I'm not. I'm making view C. So I didn't realize when looking at this, I don't know why, when I purchased it, that this pattern means that this is 2 separate pieces and this one's 4 separate pieces. That's really cool. I'm really excited to have this in my stash for that reason, but for some reason it just didn't occur to me that these patterns were not all single. I don't know why. Whatever. So yeah, view C. This one is all one fabric and it's kind of like a high-low construction. It's got pleats in it. I've sewn up the sides and all I have left to do are, so it's looking, let's see, quite big right now, but so this is the fabric. I'll show it to you up close. It's a Telio diamond quilted fabric, and for the price, I got it off of fabric.com. It's a really great value for money. This I feel is pretty good quality fabric for the price. I feel like it was like $6 or $7 a yard. I love the color. I've been dreaming of having a skirt out of quilted fabric for forever. So here it is so far. I just need to add the, if I can get it right side. Okay. I just need to do the pleats, of course, so that it will fit. The pleats, and then hem it, of course, add in the zip, and here is also a waistband, the waistband piece. So nothing really that exciting to show you so far. It's kind of difficult to show because it's like such long pieces, but here again is the pattern so you kind of get the idea. High-low skirt, has a waistband, a zip at the side, and then it's a high-low skirt. I'm not for sure if I really want to keep it high-low. I may end up cutting off the long part and just doing an even skirt because that's kind of what I originally had in mind. But I figured I would just cut this out and try it out with the high-low first and see how it goes. But again, love this fabric. Really excited about it. And it is stretchy, but it's not like a high stretch knit. So it's working really well on my machine without using the serger. I really need to try the serger, aka overlocker, whatever you want to call it, again. I just did not have a very good experience the first time I tried to use it, so hopefully once I, you know, I'll come back to it again at some point for sure, but I just wasn't in the mood to finagle with it. I just don't want to ruin fabric on it, which is what it would keep doing. It's just like ripping and eating fabric. So I'll figure it out eventually, but for now, eh. And then, very excited because I've started cutting out and filming tutorials for the quilt along. So again, the idea is that I'm going to make all of the videos first and then release them, so that all I have to do is, like, instead of being pressured to make, is just be there for you guys to answer your questions. So cruising right along, I've almost got all of the fabrics cut out. They've been washed and dried. I just have 2 more fabrics left to cut out, and then I will be sewing. So the hardest part for me is the cutting out of the fabric. It takes so long for me because you just have to be so as precise as you possibly can. I haven't mentioned this before, at least I don't think I have, but charm packs, if you want to buy pre-cut fabric to make this part of your life even easier, by all means, that's totally allowed. I just really like having control over the exact fabrics that are going to be in it, and I'm really excited about the fabrics I have for this project. So that's cruising right along, really excited about that, and can't wait to get those videos filmed for you. And then the last thing is stash acquisitions, and there are a few. The first one, this one has been in the works for a while. Julie and I really wanted to order some stray cat socks, this particular colorway that I have been obsessed with for so long, but because the yarn comes from New Zealand, shipping is like kind of pricey. So we decided we would each get a skein and split the shipping, which made it great. Check out this packaging, by the way. If you didn't hear me say, this is stray cat socks. And it comes in this adorable box packaging, a little holder so you can see the yarn inside. So cute. It just makes it so fun to open. And here is the yarn I ordered. The colorway is called Creme de la Creme. I've had my eye on this for forever. It's a self-striping yarn, and it's just like very light blush and natural tones. Isn't this beautiful? Oh, I love it. I love it. I cannot wait to knit with this. It is an MCN, 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon, and it's 100 grams, 437 yards. Absolutely stunning. Love this so much. So yeah, we ordered that quite a while ago, and it came in a couple weeks ago. Oh, I can't wait to know. It's so soft, and the colors are just so beautiful. I hope that's coming off on camera as well as it is in real life. Can't wait to knit with this. And then, lovely Maria, oh God, of Tuscan Knits. I have shown you guys her yarn in the past because she donated some skeins to me. But when I moved, she asked if she could send me a little moving present, and I said, well, of course you can. Thank you so much. It's so nice of you. She surprised me with these 2 skeins of her yarn. Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm telling you, I've said it before in previous podcasts, but Tuscan Knits yarn, there is not a single colorway of hers that I don't absolutely trip over myself falling in love for. Not a single one. Every single colorway she does, her color sense is impeccable. Her aesthetic on Instagram too, oh my gosh, go follow her if you're not already. Her Instagram is gorgeous. Pacific Northwest views, mixture of yarn. It's just like so lovely. This is her colorway. I'm gonna butcher this name because I've never actually known how to pronounce it, but it's a Harry Potter reference. Pigwidgeon, it's Ron's owl. Isn't this gorgeous? Look at this. It's like dark tannish gray with speckles of black. It's stunning. I love this colorway, and I'm sure she knew that because I was just like drooling over it on every Instagram post that she made about it. Oh, be still my heart, be still. It's 100% superwash merino, 438 yards. Absolutely stunning. And then her second one that she sent me, which I love just as much, it's called Just a Rose, and it's a kind of rosy mauve color. Absolutely stunning. Look at this. It's so pretty. Oh, I love it. Oh, hi, Mika. What are you doing? Come here. Mika's come to say hello. This is Mika. Ooh, falling over. Sweet Mika. You sit by that. You sit here. She's just gonna take a little seat. So, Maria, thank you. Thank you so much for this amazing housewarming gift. I love, 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 love your yarn. And trust me, you will too. Do yourself a favor and go look up Tusken Knits. There's her tag. Tusken. Incredible yarns. So, so beautiful. You will not regret it. And then my last acquisition is a gift from Julie, another book, which ironically I've had my eye on for a while now, but I have it on hold at the library, but because I live in New York City, holds at the library can sometimes take forever for very popular books. And Julie I didn't even tell her that I had this on hold at the library. She had no clue, but she wanted to purchase one for herself. She saw it on Amazon. She's like, Jacqueline needs this too, which we're like the same. So yeah, The Little Book of Hygge, and it's Danish Secrets to Happy Living. So I'm really excited to give this a read. I started it last night, and the first chapter was about candles and how when Danish people hear the word hygge, which is a Danish word, instantly candles are recalled to mind, and apparently Danish people light candles like so much more than any other nation does. It's like over double what the second place nation was, and that was Italy, I think it was. I was reading it late last night, so I may not be recalling that exactly. But the first chapter is about candles. So it's called Get Consciously Cozy. So basically it's just about getting cozy, and what better book for a knitter, so I feel like this is very relevant. The Little Book of Hygge. Danish Secrets to Happy Living by Meek Wicking. What? You're the one that got out of my lap. Come back. Okay. And that's really it for today's episode. One other thing that I wanted to tell you guys about was this amazing book that I just finished on audiobook, and it was called Sweet Bitter. The name of the author is escaping me right now, so I'll make sure I put that in the show notes, but it was an excellent book. I really recommend it. I couldn't stop listening to it. It was really, really good. So if you're looking for a good book to read, that's going to be one for you. It's not, I will say that like if you're more into like happy PG kind of books, that it may not be the book for you. It's not like overly racy or anything like that, but it does have sexual content and language in it. So if that's like not your thing, then maybe skip it, but it was really, really good. I really enjoyed it, and I couldn't stop listening to it. I got through the book in like a few days, so I was really excited to have finally got a chance to read that. Again, that was called Sweet Bitter. It's a book about a woman who moves from somewhere rural to New York City, and she starts working in a restaurant. So, basic premise, and I really enjoyed it, and think you might too. And with that, I will end this podcast. Oh wait, no, I'm not, because I forgot to tell you about the giveaway. So we have another giveaway. Mina has graciously offered a copy of her New York City sock club, and every month you'll receive a new sock pattern. It will automatically update the pattern for you. So excited to see what the first ones are. She released, I know some of the dyers of the socks that provided yarn support for her, so I'm very excited to see what she's come up with and what she was inspired by for New York City as someone who's lived here for a little over 4 years now, and she's visited a lot and she's just moved here, so I'm really excited to see what she's been inspired by, and can't wait to see like the names of the patterns and how that manifests in the patterns themselves. Anyway, there is one sock collection up for grabs in the Brooklyn Knitfolk Ravelry group. Same deal, same prompt, you guys know the thing. 3 good things that have happened to you in the past 24 hours. I cannot wait to read your responses. If you guys need a pick-me-up, go read that thread. Just the little things that we notice in our day-to-day just make me really happy. I always chose to read your guys' responses at the end of the day. I would be in bed just kind of looking at my phone right before I would go to sleep and read all of your responses from that day to your what good things have happened to you in the past 24 hours, and it was just so heartwarming. So if you're having a bad day, I would highly recommend looking at that prompt. So go enter that giveaway. It's a brand new one, and you can win a copy of the New York City Sock Club from Mina Phillip. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you guys have a really great 2 weeks before I see you next. And happy knitting, happy sewing, happy crafting, and I'll see you next time. Bye!